like do a concept why, but like I'm using, you can see like just find the one which says welcome, like the profile which says welcome and go. You can say it, but I'm like I'll try to explain it like even you can understand it in such a way that you don't need more slides, but still, as I was saying, welcome, and like this is the first set of what do you say, webinars for like next 2 months at least. So I suggest you attend all of them to know more about ISAC and to learn more skills. As I was saying before, like we are going to have sessions of sales or marketing or like the topics related and everything. So welcome to the first one. So like as usual, we always start with why. So the reason why I can mention why, even though you might already know this, is because it's important for us to know why we are doing like what. So as a to make it like to keep it short, there's like why we formed. We started like after the Second World War. So like I was formed of the Second World group of young people. Like if you want to raise in simple way, you can say this, or you can also say that we are a youth leadership. So so this thing like this is the most important thing of ISAC, like why we are doing it. So like to fulfillment of potential, ISAC strives for a world where people can be the best versions of themselves. So this is like the whole vision of ISAC. So why we like has seen why, and we know also how we are doing this. We place our confidence in you as a key to unlock a better future. And we believe that leadership is the fundamental solution. So these two things are the things which we do. We develop leadership in you. And ISAC is a platform for young people to explore and develop their leadership potential. So after going through an experience with ISAC, be it like a GD or global volunteer or global entrepreneur or global talent, or even being a member inside ISAC, young people are better prepared choosing who they will be today. So this is how we are doing. We are going to develop leadership in a simple way. But like we develop leadership in you. That's our promise. That's like what we promise to everyone. Like you guys, when you join ISAC, we said we are going to leadership in you, or we are going to enable leadership in you. So we are going to develop and enable this. Like without having a model of like without knowing how we are going to develop leadership, or like in general case, if we don't have any knowledge on how we are going to do something, then it's just like there somewhere, but we can't see it. So here, like there is ISAC as a leadership model to develop and enable this leadership. And we promise, like we said, like we are a youth leadership movement, and it's important for us to know that leadership development is not optional. It's the essence of our organization. And leadership development is the core of our organization. We have like until now, like we have spoken a lot about like if you were there at the Discover Days, or like even if you're there from the beginning of ISAC, like we always talk about like clarity of why, like why we do what we do, and we say like we want to develop like leaders like with those 4 leadership qualities. But it's important that we know about our unique leadership development model. Like what makes ISAC unique is our leadership development model. So there are like a lot of other organizations who want to achieve peace, like who like probably try to do this by leadership. Like I don't know if there are a lot of organizations who try to achieve peace through leadership, but even if there are, what makes ISAC unique is this particular set of leadership development model. And yes, so the ISAC's leadership development model seeks to prepare youth to take a stand on what they care about and become capable to make a difference through their everyday actions. So, like, that is why our answer is to develop the characteristics, like, these 4 characteristics which I probably mentioned before as well, to the biggest world trends. So you already know about the 4 leadership qualities: the self-awareness, world citizen, empowering others, and being solution-oriented. But why we are like focusing more on this one, and like what context of these qualities are in the present world, is because like there is a decline in trust in the formal leaders. Like we can call them managers. So they just manage people and they manage stuff. But like to be a leader, you actually need to be self-aware. And like you need to understand and live your personal values. You need to focus on strengths or weaknesses, and you need to explore your passions. And this world, because of the technology right now, is becoming more global, like more global, and like it's important that a leader should be a world citizen, and he or she should believe in their ability to make a difference in this world. You need to be interested in the world issues. You need to enjoy taking responsibility for improving this world. Like as I said before, as youth have the responsibility to care for a better future, and this is one of those qualities which is going to help us deliver a better future. And like the right now the world is getting more interconnected, and like it's getting more and more complex. There are like a lot of things we can do. So in this present world, it's important that we can communicate effectively in diverse environment, and we can make sure that in empowering other people. So like this is the whole thing of empowering others. And then it's not only just a complex and interconnected world, but it's also uncertain world. Like we don't know what happens tomorrow, and like we don't know what problems we might face. So it's important that we are solution oriented, and that we are able to adapt and show resilience in the face of challenges. And at any point of time, we need to transmit positivity and move forward through the uncertainty. And it's also important that we take risks whenever we need it, because like taking risks is not only helpful for developing us, but like also for us to strive for excellence. And yeah, this is the leadership that we believe in and we develop. So the leadership, like there are like a lot of other things which we can develop through leadership, but like these are the 4 main qualities which we believe in our leadership. But again, so there are 3 parts of LDM. So what I just spoke are the leadership qualities. It's LDM. LDM stands for Leadership Development Model, by the way. So it is not just about being a world citizen or being solution oriented or being empowering others. There are 3 parts to this model. And this is kind of, it's not possible for you to see fully explain it in a very brief manner so you can understand it. So Isaac's leadership development model has 3 main things. The first one is the leadership qualities, which we already spoke about. And then there's an inner and outer journey. And there is standards. So we'll talk about standards in the later part of this session, but you need to understand that there are a set of, you probably might have already know about the standards. There are like exchange standards and team standards. But yeah, anyways, there are some key things that we as Isaacers needs to deliver in order to facilitate inner and outer, like a journey which a person goes through in order for him to develop these leadership qualities. So what exactly do I mean by for example, like if you talk about exchange standards, there are like 16 things which we as Isaacers needs to do mandatorily. We need to do it for sure. It's kind of that the key activities that need to be executed. And for example, we pick up our EPs when they go on exchange, and we help them with their insurance, or we help them with their accommodation. We take them to the first day of the work. We create lead spaces for them. So there are a lot of these things, and these activities we need to do them for sure. And by doing this, we enable that person to go on an inner and outer journey. So what do I mean by the inner and outer journey? Is the inner journey is the process, is the journey which the person who experiences Isaac goes through internally. He sets his own personal goals. Whenever he starts Isaac experience, we always ask them to set goals for the period of the time team cycle. So he sets personal goals, and like he reflects upon those goals like periodically, and he understands what his values are, and like through all this process, by setting goals and by working towards it, he reinvents himself. And outer journey is the one where we like support him, support the TD, the exchange participant, or like support anyone who chooses to go on any ISEC experience to go through the inner journey. So for example, when we ask someone to set personal goals, we are creating a the personal goal setting space, like kind of a lead space, or like we're just supporting them. So there is a system, and like we give them support in each and every step they take with ISEC journey. So through this, like that's the outer journey which he goes through, like the support system or the lead spaces or anything which he has are the outer journeys. So because of these two journeys, like the inner and outer journey, we believe that like at the end when we speak about like reinventing yourself, it's like he develops the four final leadership qualities, and those are the four qualities which, as I said before, which we believe in and we develop. So this is how we are developing leadership qualities inside those four leadership qualities inside a person who is going on an ISEC exchange. So it is important for us to understand what those steps are, what the inner and outer journey is, like what exactly does the inner and outer journey mean, and what those leadership qualities actually mean. So moving on, like as I said, I'm going to show you like a little bit more clearly for the leadership qualities. Like this thing, like I already tackled before, and like you already know it since a long time, but I'm going to go quickly over here. So the first one is like old citizens. So it's like people believe we need to make sure that the person who's on an exchange, like after they come back, like after their ISEC experience, that they believe in their ability to make a difference in the world, and that they're interested in world issues in the first place, so that they, after with the belief and with the interest, they can actually make a difference. And at the end, like they also need to take responsibility, so they need to feel more accountable and responsible for the improving the world. And being self-aware, it's like, as I said, like you need to understand, and like it's not just about understanding what your values are, but like living, like demonstrating integrity is one of the values in ISEC this year, right? So you need to live by your personal values no matter what. And you always need to focus on strengths over weaknesses. I mean, it's always, you work on your weaknesses, but like it's about strengths, focusing on your weaknesses. And you need to explore your passions, like do what you want, and like just be like understand what you want to do. And be solution oriented, so adapt and show resilience in the face of challenges. Don't quit, transmit positivity to move forward to uncertainty. So like be optimistic, everything is going to be all right, know that, like, and take risks. So we've like just know that everything is going to be all right and you're good at what you're doing, and just be more solution oriented and empowering others. So like we are a bit diverse environment, like not only in ISEC, but like if you go out in the world, like probably it's much more diverse than ISEC maybe. So it's important that you need to be effectively communicating in this environment. And diversity just doesn't mean people become coming from different countries or people speaking different languages, but it's also people who have gone through different experiences in their lives. And yes, make sure that you develop and empower other people, because like at the end, like that's most part of the leadership, and engage with others to achieve a bigger purpose. So be in teams, like have a great team time. And so yeah, these are the four leadership qualities which you already know, and the inner and outer journey. So to make it like much more clear, so the person sets personal goals, they reflect on your experiences, like they go through the experiences, and each day like they think, like there are like a lot of people, there are a lot of ways to actually enjoy your experience and get most out of it. So all you need to do is like just don't do like something, yeah, doing this, and you don't reflect upon it. So whatever your experience is, like even as a team member, reflect on your experience, and like see what's wrong, see what's right, see like learn as much as you can, like which you feel you need in your personal life, and understand your personal values. So do all this by abiding to your values, and reinvent yourself, like understand what your weaknesses are, focus on your strengths, focus on your like passions. So that's the inner journey, as I said before. And as an outer journey, it is part of ISEC, like if you're a team member, the team leader is responsible to give you a clear job description, like a clear set of goals which you need to achieve. And like if you're going on an exchange, like there is a proper job description or proper activities, a list of activities that you need to do. And the role, like whatever you do in ISEC, is always challenging. That's what we do, right? Like we provide leadership experiences through practical experience. So we provide practical experience. We develop leadership through practical experiences in challenging environments. So whatever you do in ISEC is challenging, and you're going to interact with multiple stakeholders. So stakeholders, like be it your fellow team members, or be it with EPs, or like be it with like the people, the enablers, or be it with anyone who is involved in what we are doing. You're going to interact with them. Like it's good, like if you interact a lot with them, and you have a support system in ISEC. So you can like approach your team leader, or like anyone, your vice president or IEP can approach his buddy. Like we are going to support them throughout the journey. So there's the whole thing of inner and outer journey. So I think that's clear. Like this is the journey which the person goes through in order to develop those 4 leadership qualities. And what exactly the outer journey is like for a kind of this 16 things are for the members who take on an ISEC exchange experience. So whoever goes on an exchange, like we need to deliver at least 14 out of the 16 standards. And like if you like read, like I mean the yellow ones, I know they're like very bad, but I'm going to read them for you. The first one is personal goal setting. The second one is preparation seminar. The third one is expectation settings, income preparation seminar, lead spaces, and debrief with ISEC form. So what they mean is like this is where we actually focus on development. So personal goal setting is like when a person starts going on an exchange, the first thing that we do is like we ask them to set personal goals which they want to achieve in the span of next 6 weeks, or like the duration of their exchange. And we do it like during the outgoing preparation seminar, where we actually like give them proper expectations. So like the outgoing preparation seminar, expectation settings and personal goal settings happen kind of at the same time. So the person knows exactly what they're signing up for, and like what they need to do in order to develop those leadership qualities. And the fourth one is like the incoming preparation seminar. So they are going to know like more about the country which they're living in, the job they're going to do, and everything related to the country which they're going to. So the fourth and the incoming preparation seminar is going to be given by the host committee, so the one who is hosting the exchange participant. And then there is the lead spaces. So lead spaces are one where they reflect upon their experiences, and like they see how their experience is going, and they try to like the ISECer, the enabler, and the EP tries to find like a way in which the leadership development can happen more smoothly. And the last one is the debrief with ISEC home. So which is basically when like returns from their ISEC experience, they speak with the local ISEC, the home office. So the home ISEC, like the one they went from. So they're going to like have a debrief of their ISEC experience. They're going to reflect upon what they've been through in the last 6 weeks, or like the duration of their internship, the duration of their exchange. And those are the development phase of the standards. And then there is like job, logistics, living. So these are like the job part covers what's the job description, for how long is like the person needs to be on an exchange, and what are the working hours every day. And like first day of work, we kind of take our interns to the first day of work, so that they are aware of the environment which they are going to work in, and they feel like they are having a support. And coming to logistics, it's visa, like we support them with visa and work documents. We go and pick the EPs up like when they come to a destination, when they go to their place they're doing the exchange. And departure support, so like when they're leaving, we are going to have a farewell party or something like that, and we are going to send them. And living, like we take care of the insurance, we take care of the accommodation. Like if we can't cover the accommodation, we try to provide it. Like we suggest, like if the accommodation is free, then we like the accommodation is called provided and covered. Like if it is not free, it's accommodation is provided and not covered. So at least like when a person goes to a new country, like it is important for ISECers to take care of insurance, the accommodation, and it's important for the ISECers to make sure that the person knows the basic living costs in that country. So these are the set of standards which we try to deliver to our exchange participants. So it's very important that our EPs who want to go on ISEC exchange receive all these standards, like at least 14 out of the 16. But like it's always good to have 16 out of 16. So yeah, these are the standards which a person who goes on an ISEC exchange like needs to receive. But as a team member, it is also equally important that you like that we receive all this. There are like other set of standards that as a member you need to receive, or as a team leader you need to deliver. So like in order to like it's the same thing, the journey, the inner and outer journey, and the leadership qualities which you develop as a team member or like as a member in ISEC is same as the one which the exchange participant experiences, but the standards are different. So these are the the 9 standards. Like it has 3 blocks. So building, performing, closing. So at the beginning of every team, like we started a new team cycle like from June 1st. So it is important that you came together like in your teams and you set like a team identity. You created rules for your team, like how you want to behave in your team. You might have already set like team purposes, like why are you even like being there, like what are your goals, like what strategies are you going to implement, and what each and every person in your team is going to do, like the job description, the specific job description for each and every member, and like how you are going to like develop like your team, like achieve your team goals, or like how you are going to make sure that your personal development is happening. All these things comes under the building phase. So if you see the team creation, the team plan, and the individual plan are part of the building phase. So if you have already done this in your teams, like bravo, there's nothing like it's perfect. But if you did not do it, or if your team leaders did not facilitate this yet, I suggest you to make them accountable, like ask them why they did not do it. And it's also important that like as a team you meet like regularly, like once if you set goals and if you have like a target, if you have strategy, it's the time for implementing. So that is the second block, which is the performance phase. So this is the phase where you like work with your team, you meet with them like every week, and you create an accountability system. So you see like what each and everyone is doing, and you try to achieve your goals. And if you see this phase is results elevation, performance tracking, and support system. So the results elevation is like how you can improve your results, how you can achieve your goal. You have like the basic knowledge about what you're doing. For example, if you're in marketing, you need to have marketing skills, how you're going to do marketing. And you have like team working times, because if we work together, we're going to achieve more for sure. So we have this team working times, and team incentive system is kind of a rewards. So for whatever you do, like we know we are not for profit organization, but still like it's important that sometimes people feel achieving the goal itself is an incentive or a reward, and sometimes we seek rewards through achieving our goals. So in any case, a team incentive system is always going to help. It's not mandatory, but it's always good to have a team incentive system. But also like it's important that after you have the knowledge, after you have the plan, you need to track the performance. So you need to see how your other team member is doing, or like if you're a team leader, how your team members are doing. So we do this by having an accountability system. We have like individual tracking meetings. So we meet with our people and we talk with them, and we see what they're doing and how they're doing it, and we see if they need more support or they need more learning to achieve their goals. And yeah, at the last, like there is support system, which is the lead spaces, the team meetings, the one-to-ones, the team days, the feedbacks. So all this comes under the performing phase. So it's basically a performing. Once you build your team, you set your goals, you perform. And then at the end, like in the last months, like at the last 2 weeks of your team cycle or something, you're going to have a closing. You're going to reflect upon what you did in the last 4 months or last 3 months, and you're going to have a team debrief. And then you're going to, because we say that acting sustainable is one of our core values, it's important that we do a transition about like all what we learned, and we explain it to the next new team so that they can build upon what we have already learned. And individual debriefs, so you have like at the beginning, like you set a personal plan, and at the end you like review it, like if you have achieved what you wanted to do personally, like if you see that if you achieved it like finally on. So that's about the team standards. These are called the team standards, and the prior ones are called the exchange standards. So this is how like the leadership development model works. So you deliver the standards, either team standards or the exchange standards to the responsible person, and you facilitate the person to go on this inner and outer journey. And because the person has this support system and like is going through this journey, is going to develop those 4 leadership qualities. So in total, these three arts together combine for the leadership development model. And yeah, so it's also important for you to know that like we can't manage or we can't talk about leadership development if we can't measure it. So how do we measure leadership development? It's through this thing called leadership development assessment. So it's, as it says, like I did not mention like when I was speaking about team standards about like the LDA. The reason is because of this, like I wanted to speak about this now. So the leadership development assessment is something which you take twice at the start of your ISEC experience and at the end of your ISEC experience. So at the start, like each of those 4 qualities, you'll get some score. So there are like 48 questions, you answer them, and based on those answers, you get some score. And at the end, like you again take, like after your ISEC experience, you take the test again and you get another score. And we see how much like you have developed like in through your experience. So I know like most of you might not know it, but did you take it? Like did any one of you take the leadership development assessment for this team cycle? Like not the one for last time, but for this one. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so if you did not take it, it's important that you do it. Like I know you might not know how to do it. So the first thing always is for you to have an account on like have an ISEC email probably. So like you need to log in through expert.isec.org. So I'm going to send like these details again, like after this webinar, but like it's important for you to understand that you're starting an ISEC experience now. And if you really want to see how we are going to like, how much you are going to develop your leadership or how much you're going to enable your leadership, it's important that you take the initial LDA, which is going to happen, which should be happening in this month, in this 2 weeks probably. And then you take another final leadership development assessment in September, and you compare your scores. And yeah, that's regarding the leadership development assessment. So I'm going to send you how you need to do it. So if you already did it, so then like it's really cool. But if you did not, then I suggest you do it. And yes, that's if you have any doubts about leadership development assessment, like just you can text me, or like if you have any doubts about LDM as well, you can always text me. So that's it in this today's webinar. And remember, like next in RLC, like in this month, we have a webinar on OD model, which basically is how ISEC in Milan or like how ISEC in Italy works and like all the stuff. Like it's kind of model, so it's important for you to know how we run operations in ISEC. So it's on 22nd, the Saturday at 3 p.m. So like please make sure to be there. It's going to be presented by Martina of OGT, and we are having an LCM where like it's important that we all together meet again on 23rd. Like it's going to be virtual as well. So like probably we might need some other technology or something, but still like we make sure that you're present at all of this touch points. And yeah, that's it for today. And like if you have any doubts or if you have like any questions, like you can ask me now or like you can text me later. And yeah, that's it. See you on 22nd. That's it. You're welcome, Mati.
Thank you, Veda.
Welcome. Yeah. So, yeah.
You go.